I'm fine. How are you?
Nice to talk to you again. Thanks for taking a minute
So
out.
my lover,
Sure.
So,
when you
I want to begin
want
our
me.
conversation before we get into the latest album, I'll Take Romance.
Okay.
How did you survive COVID? We're on the 4-year anniversary. It was quite a time for artists. How did you get through that time period and how did it change you?
Well, watched a lot of television. Interestingly enough, a wonderful thing came out of it. Uh, I got all my vaccinations. Everything was fine. I had been giving a class. I did a pro bono at the JCC in Longmeadow, Massachusetts, called "So You Think You Could Sing," and I had been doing it for about 7 years. And the last 2 years, there was a group called Valley Jazz, and they were fabulous. They were just amazing. They opened for Karen Allison up in Massachusetts one time, but then they started doing solos, and I turned to my husband and I said, "They need my help." So I mentioned it to the woman who was leading the group. I said, "Listen, I give a class, and I think your soloists need some help in singing solo." And we did 1 year, it was fabulous. They came back the next year. I had a minimum of seven, and I had 12 people with no room for them. And what ended up happening is we were supposed to do the final concert after an 8-week course, and COVID hit, closed everything down on March 16th, and the recital to set up like a big cabaret room uh, was canceled on the 22nd of March. And unbeknownst to me, for the first couple of months, they all got together and they called themselves the Scheckteristas. There were 12 of them. And they started singing a song each every week. And if I tell you, we are still doing it now. Every Friday, 4 o'clock Zoom. Last week was Harold Arlen. This week is songs from the 40s. We've done Gershwin weeks. We've done Dorothy Parker weeks, Dorothy Fields weeks. I mean, we are still doing it, and they have grown from being not great soloists to people who are doing shows now, singing in rooms. It's been phenomenal.
That's
And
wonderful.
we've become dear friends, and they've grown. And in those days, you would ask somebody, "Well, what songs do you know?" And they go, "Oh, I don't know." Now they've got like almost 200 songs. We're on week about 190 nonstop every Friday, 4 o'clock Zoom, and
Wow.
and even when I've been away out of the country, I manage 6 hour difference to join the Zoom. It's been so. This is something wonderful that came out of it.
Sure.
Um,
So,
and it got us through the pandemic because we had something to look forward to. Also, Billy Stritch had a show every Thursday called Billy's Place, and Nick King with the late Mike Renzi every Wednesday. So there was music throughout, and it really kept our spirits up. And that's it.
that's great. No, that's a wonderful story, and I've heard so many silver linings that have gone into this time period. So I'm curious with the new album, I'll Take Romance, was this an outgrowth of living through that time period, or what was kind of the artistic vision?
Well, this is it. Well, this is the only thing. It caused a pause. In other words, in 2007, my husband and I moved from New York City back to Massachusetts, Springfield, Longmeadow, to be with my mother, who was at that point in her 80s. My mother made it just short of 98. And in amazing, she had her teeth, she had her ears, she could hear, she could see, and she could think. But, at almost 98, her body said, "I'm tired, I'm out of here." So she just kind of drifted away. But uh, the thing is, I would go from Massachusetts to New York to have rehearsals. The album was always going to be called "I'll Take Romance," and that was from 9 years ago. The songs kept changing. I kept adding, taking away, and I would take the train into New York City, work with Tedd Firth, this just brilliant pianist arranger. He's in so in demand. You have to like get in line, and I've been working with him for 25 years. I still have to get in line, but he's fabulous. Anyway, I would meet with him for 3 hours and then go back to Grand Central and go back to Springfield, Mass. So um, that was so when the pandemic hit, that put everything on hold. The one good thing that came out of it was that another good thing was that Roger Shore, this brilliant lyricist. And I added words to a song on the album called Looking Back. And the music was written in 1981 as a tribute to the late Bill Evans by a friend of ours, Mickey Leonard, who wrote I'm All Smiles and Why Did I Choose You? I mean, just fabulous stuff. And Mickey okayed putting lyrics to the music. He handed me this music in 1982, and then he forgot he wrote it. And Mickey unfortunately left us in 2015. But during the pandemic, I got in touch with Roger, and we put lyrics together. And it's this just gorgeous song called "Looking Back." So that
Yeah.
was something else. That and as soon as well, my husband and I moved back in 22, and since then the record was back in the works. So there we
That's
are.
wonderful. Yeah.
Yes,
I've heard Linda Pearl talk glowingly about Ted as well.
he's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
he he plays piano also for all of Michael Feinstein's concerts.
Yeah.
Michael decided he wanted to get up from the piano bench and get out in front and sing out.
Yeah.
So he has Ted play for him, and he just plays for an amazing amount of people. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, what are you ultimately hoping the listener gets from I'll Take Romance?
Um, well, I mean, there's a real theme to it. In other words, it starts off with "Love I Hear," which is a kind of funny song from by Stephen Sondheim from his musical "A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum," and it's very cute song, and Jay Lenhart scats on it, which is wonderful. And unplanned, when he finished, we were in the recording studio at this fabulous studio called Power Station, and we all said, no, keep it in. We love it. We love it. So we kept it in. So it's a progression of love, finding love. Um, I'll be easy to find, which was an old Johnny Mathis song by Bart Howard, and it works its way through um, a beautiful friendship of people who were friends and took a look at each other and realized they were really more than friends, to breakups, back togethers, breakups, bad times, good times, funny things. There's one song called You Were Not My First Love. And I was just rehearsing in those other arms. It's a very funny song. And all the way through to What Is There to Say, which is my heart's in a deadlock. I'll even face wedlock with you. And then I wanted to end on a really positive note. What are you doing the rest of your life?
I love
So
it.
it's a progression of all stages of romance, love, and ending happily.
It's a story for sure.
It
So,
is. Yeah.
what has been the key for you for the longevity? You've been around for a while. You've been
Yeah.
doing this. What keeps you passionate? What keeps you in this jazz game? What is it for you?
Well, I love the music and I love singing, and I'm happy when I'm singing. I get nervous before shows, but you put in the work and you get up there and you just do it. Um, I got to sing at Lincoln Center, Rose Hall. It seats 1,200 people, and you walk out and it's black. You can't see anything, but the sound was so great. And I realized I wasn't nervous because I was prepared. What I was excited, and it was a dream. It was a dream to sing in this giant auditorium. I sang in 1989 with Mike Renzi, came up with the Springfield Pop Symphony for 5,000 people, and I realized now it was the same thing. I wasn't nervous. I was excited, and it was so much fun. It was just fabulous. But why do I keep doing it? Well, I've been doing it a long time. And I feel that people keep saying this to me, and I realize I have not developed an old lady's vibrato, where you need Dramamine not to go. I don't do that. I seem to have kept my, that straight head sound, and then just a little bit of a vibrato at the end of the note. And I said, as long as I can keep sounding, not my age, young, I'll keep doing it. So
So,
there we are.
there, absolutely. So, speaking of live shows, what's coming up for you to promote this album? Is the warm months come up? What's going on?
Well, I am doing a show in New York at a club called Pangea. That's going to be July 31st. And it's a little bit smaller venue. I am going to be at Birdland. Um, I realize I should have booked it a year ago because they're already into January of 25. So I have got an evening at the beautiful Birdland Theater, which is downstairs from the Giant Room, and I'm going to do a CD launch. As I say, I'm not selling cakes. It's not going to go stale. The record's still going to be out there. So that's going to be the CD launch. But I'm doing the show I'm doing on the 31st is a tribute to Bobby Short, who was in a way my mentor. I bought my first CD. I mean, first CD. They didn't have CDs. I bought my first LP of Bobby Short's when I was 12 years old,
Wow.
and he just changed my whole attitude about the songs I sing. He made me aware of the lesser known songs by the great composers. So ones that you don't hear all the time, but that were by Gershwin, Cole Porter, Harold Arlen, Irving Berlin. Fabulous songs, but not as well known as the ones that are the headliners, let's say. And that was really through listening to Bobby Short, made me aware of a whole different kind of music. And that's what I've done. That's why there's some songs on the album that everyone will know, and
Yeah.
then there's some that'll be a little bit of a surprise, but they're still great songs.
So if anyone wants to properly pick up this album physically, stream it, anything about live shows in your world, where's the best place for them to go?
It's available on everything, and Bandcamp. All the rest are streaming, but Bandcamp will actually have a link to me to have the actual physical CD
Yes,
and with all the nice pictures inside.
absolutely. Absolutely. And so that's wonderful. Jane, thank you so much. I appreciate you opening up. You've come back to Neon Jazz, so it's wonderful to catch back up with you. So I appreciate you opening up about the album. Best of luck with everything.
Thank you so much. We seem to be getting tremendous airplay now around. As somebody got in touch with me from Vienna,
Wow.
so it's getting out there, and it just literally started streaming this past Friday. So
Wow.
it's great, great
That is
review.
great. That is
So
great. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much again. Best of luck and I appreciate it. Until next time.
until next time, thanks.
Thank you.